Welcome back, everybody. This is MegaTrain, and this is episode 11 of my End of Skybock map. I was gone out of town for a couple of weeks, so sorry that this episode is a little while after the last one. But I'm back now, and we'll be putting up more videos, and today we've got a huge project to do, and that is our village farm, our villager farm and iron golem farm. And for this, we need a lot of wood. This is 21 stacks of wood. Obviously, the type of wood is up to you. I chose to do spruce wood. A couple of buckets of water. I had enough iron ingot drops from my farm to make a second bucket, and a bunch of torches, of course. But we're going to show you how to do this. Let me show you one cool trick that I found out with spruce that I didn't know that we could do. So I'm sure you know that you can put 4 spruce saplings together and get a giant spruce tree. What I didn't know until I tried it is that you can put a second one right next to it. And you can even put 2 more like this. Ooh. And make a solid mass of wood. So you want to call it a super spruce tree or something like that. So basically we've got a 4x4 block of wood going way up. So that was an easy way for me to get all of these resources. So what we're going to be building is a combination villager farm and iron golem farm. This wood is going to be enough for pretty much everything. It's going to be enough for the platform, for the 2 layers of the iron golem farm. It's going to be enough for all the doors. It's going to be enough for all of the gates and all of the fences and everything else. So this is definitely enough for us to start with. So I'm going to pull a little bit out of there, and we're going to get started. The first thing that we need to do is we're going to build a 41 by 41 platform. Now don't fill it all the way in the middle yet. We're going to need to outline the middle in a particular way. So I'm going to start by doing that. And I actually had someone show me a nice trick. I think I've mentioned in a couple of episodes that it's hard for me to count while I am placing blocks. But if you just put the right number of items in a stack, let's say if I want to do exactly 20, all I'm going to have to do is put the right number of items in the stack, and that way I can talk and commentate and do whatever while I'm laying these out. There we go. So that is 20 blocks, and here is the 21st, so that is my halfway, and I've got 20 more blocks to the other edge. Alright, so here is our 41 by 41 platform. I've just made a single ring around the edge, and I have, of course, failed to light it up properly. So I'm going to go back around and do that. Knock some of these guys off with my bow. Alright, forget this. I'm going to go sleep. Get rid of these guys. Alright, just a few pesky spiders to clean up here. Creepers. The next thing I want to do here is I want to make the outside strip needs to be 2 blocks wide, and then just inside that we're going to put a wall. So I'm coming in 2 more blocks on the outside, and right here I'm going to have a 1.5 block high wall. So I'll finish that all around, and we're going to continue inside, but don't go all the way to the center. We're going to need the whole for the mob farm. If you haven't already checked it out, I've got a separate tutorial video that I made called MegaVillage 2.0. I just posted that recently, or at least before I went on vacation. And that kind of shows the design here of what we're trying to accomplish. Obviously, I did that in creative, and this is in survival, so it's a little bit more difficult. But it should give you the idea of what we're accomplishing here. I'm not going to do every single step here in this video. So if you want the whole shebang, go ahead and check out that other video. Before I get too far along here, I would love to get actually started with my villagers. So I'm going to make a little temporary enclosure over in this corner here. I'm going to cover it over the top and see if I can spawn some zombies that I can heal. Alright, I've made my little temporary spawning shelter here, and basically I'm just going to use my bow and arrow to take out anything that I don't want there. And we'll see if we can get some zombies. Okay, I didn't catch any zombies, or I got a couple zombies spawn, but they weren't zombie villagers, so I'll have to keep working at that. I've made a slightly more sophisticated mechanism here. Just basically put some fences and fence gates here so that I can get, if I can get zombies to come forward, if I get a villager zombie in here, I can close him in and keep him safe from any other mobs. So this should be a slightly better spawning area. But while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to finish my outside ring here. The outside ring is basically 11 blocks thick. So we've got 2 blocks for the doors, 1 for the wall, 7 for the inner area, and then 1 more for the inner wall. And that is 11 blocks. So I'm going to keep working on this. Alright, so the general shape of what I've got going on here, again, is 2 blocks on the outside, an outside wall, and this is going to end up being a block and a half high, so we've got some slabs for that. And then in the middle here, we've got a gap of 7 blocks, and then an inside wall. Now this is actually going to be up higher, ultimately, so in the meantime, you might need to light that up, or something like that. So I'm nearing my second night here, and I'm going to continue to see if I can get the right kind of zombies spawning in here, so we can get our villagers going. While I was over there working on that, it looks like I have spawned 2 more wool, or 2 more sheep, and a chicken. So that is very good news. And this looks like a real chicken, not a zombie chicken. So I should be able to gather eggs and get a second chicken from one of those eggs and be on our way as far as our chicken population is concerned. Okay, when you're done with the outside ring, you should be left with a 19 by 19 hole in the middle. And we're going to go both directions with this. We're going to go up 2 layers and down 3 layers. So up 2 layers, this is going to be one of our iron golem spawning platforms, and down 3 layers is going to be another. To get there, we're going to have to do it the hard way. So let me throw my stuff in a chest, just in case something horrible happens. And might as well throw this in there too, because I need that. One, 2, 3. And that should be right. Hello, zombie. Wrong kind of zombie. Get my bucket back. Get all of my planks back and a few extra of those. Let's get some arrows back. Alright, I'm going to put my bucket back. Alright, so the idea here is that we need a gap of 4 between the 2 layers. If you watch my video I made on this, you should be able to see that a little bit better. But there is my gap of 4, and basically I'm just going to enclose this whole thing and leave a 3x3 hole in the middle. Alright, here is my bottom platform with a 3x3 hole in the middle. I'm actually going to cover this hole right now with some slabs, just in case I fall in or my torches get washed down there. I don't lose them. I'm eventually going to need to go down there and put a collection place. But the pattern we're going to use here is we're going to put 4 blocks in each corner. And we're going to remove those once we've got the rest of the water in, but that's just going to allow us to get the right water pattern here. But basically we're going to run a row of water between each of these corner sections. And then we're going to remove the corner sections and put a single block of water, not on the bottom corner, but in the top corner. So that's going to give us a perfect run to the center. Okay, so we've got a good run to the center, and each of these corners, we're just going to knock these 4 out and put a single water block up 1 in the corner. And that'll flow everything down the way we need it. So we're getting mobs, but we're still waiting for our zombie villagers here. So while we're waiting for them, we finished the bottom layer. We're going to put this second layer on, and again, it's just 2 layers up from our main platform, and we'll fill it in the same way. Alright, I've done the second layer. The second layer needs a 1.5 block high wall around it just to keep the water in and from stuff from spawning on the top, and we're going to fill it with water in the same way. And there's our second layer of our fully functional iron golem farm. If we only had some zombie villagers. So I think we're going to call this an episode. We've got a lot done here. And we're going to try see if we can actually get some villagers in here and start these golems spawning. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience over the last couple of weeks as I was on vacation. We've still got a lot to do on this village. And obviously the biggest part of that is get some villagers. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.